So one of the most important things that data science can bring to a module like Proline is that it can explore opportunities, right? So every time we go to the processing plans and we start doing an implementation, talking to the planners, you are going to see all of them, most of them have spreadsheets or systems that can try calculating what is the best production they can achieve based on the birds, based on the capacity and all the stuff. However, those spreadsheets, even though they can follow what is the normal process of those customers, they cannot explore options. They cannot see, for example, what would happen if I just decide not producing this particular product and move our focus to another one. What would be the outputs? What would be my income out of that?
Just briefly elaborated on there, and if we turn into processing, and we have a look, Daniel, at what the Proline solution can bring and what you've been working on for a couple of years, really hard here at MTech, is how do you use that data science in that Proline solution then to help planning in a processing plant environment?
Yeah, basically we have into the processing plans and especially into our Proline solution, many uses of the data science modules such as artificial intelligence, optimization. But I think that it's important for us to understand what is the value, what is the difference between having a module like Proline that can use those kind of technologies from, let's say, spreadsheets or other modules that try to run some heuristic logics and things like that, so we can really understand the value. So one of the most important things that data science can bring to a module like Proline is that it can explore opportunities, right? So every time we go to the processing plans and we start doing an implementation, talking to the planners, you are going to see all of them, most of them have spreadsheets or systems that can try calculating what is the best production they can achieve based on the birds, based on the capacity and all the stuff. However, those spreadsheets, even though they can follow what is the normal process of those customers, they cannot explore options. They cannot see, for example, what would happen if I just decide not producing this particular product and move our focus to another one? What would be the outputs? What would be my income out of that? So this is the most important thing that data science can bring to a module such as Proline. We can explore opportunities. We will not be just focused on what the plants generally do, but what else they can do. What more we can achieve by doing changes, by making specific, let's say, market strategies, right? So looking for different bird weights, right? So, and other than that, using those kind of systems like Proline, we avoid issues, for example, with data in formula issues with the spreadsheets, which is something that is really important to a data science module to work, because it reduces the accuracy of the results. Having an optimization or artificial intelligence module, you can improve a lot your accuracy on the results you get because you don't have issues. You basically have all the data integrated, all the data connected to the system, and then you can improve your accuracy, right? So based on that, so being able to explore those options is what makes a data science module extremely helpful and extremely powerful to a company, right? So basically that's the main difference of that. And then moving a little deeper into the planning day-to-day, so we generally consider two different perspectives of planning, at least, right? So you have your long-term planning and you have your short-term planning, right? When you talk about long-term planning, the data science modules becomes way more important and way more powerful, because in the long term is where you can get money, right? So in the long term is where you can trace your strategy, you can define plans and explore way more opportunities to improve, and then you use your short-term execution to make sure that your plans are being executed and achieved, right? So talking about long-term then, basically there's a lot of outcomes you can get from data science. For example, you can improve your yield based on your mix of products, right? So some consumers, for example, doesn't give attention to byproducts, for example. And there's a lot of money that you can achieve out of those if you pay the right attention and if you put your focus correctly on those guys. right? So it is something that generally you cannot achieve, for example, out of a spreadsheet. It's a lot of data. So can you imagine doing a long-term plan, let's say, talking about years, right? So all on a spreadsheet, all the data set on a spreadsheet, doing those manual changes, it's almost impossible. And even if you do so, your numbers will not be accurate. You're going to have issues, you know. So this is one of the points, but you have a lot. You can better project the animals you need for this long period, so you can raise them correctly. So not just about getting the right birds to the plant, but how can I plant those birds better? You know, using those modules, you can in advance understand what's your demands from the markets, how they're going to turn during the year, the season, and then you can raise the right birds, right? So you can better explore the part. Other than that, you can trace strategies for sales. We can look for opportunities into different markets, right? So we can look for something that we've never done before. And that's what I like most into Proline in this kind of solution. You can explore things, not just about doing what you do in a daily basis, because if you do that, you're just going to have the exact same results. You're not going to have any improvements. You need to think differently, right? And exploring options, having a tool that can provide you this ability quicker, faster, and with accurate results is exactly what the plants need. So they can better plan, they can improve their yield consistently, you know?
Yeah.
So, mhm.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to kind of,
Sure.
sorry for interrupting, but I wanted to have some little questions. So you mentioned that there are like long-term and short-term horizons, and also there are all kinds of plannings that you can do. And from the looks of it, we see that there are several levels of planners, right, that will be involved in the system. One from the live ops side that will see what kind of birds are coming, then strategic planning, marketing planning, and also, of course, the actual plant itself. So it's a tool for multiple users, and usually all the planning is done in some kind of different spreadsheets or systems that are not exactly connected. So now the users will have one system to work with, right? And how the system actually can help all of those planners, all of those users individually.
Yeah. Basically, our Proline solution is an integrated business plan, right? So it can go from the strategic level down to the short term, which is basically the execution, right? So we generally can have three levels: strategic, long term, and execution, right? And basically, all of those are connected, right? So all on the same system, right? So basically, having this all connected is something that surely cannot achieve with spreadsheets, because our data is all spread out into multiple sources, so we cannot connect those guys. But using that planning that's integrated in a single tool, so you can provide visibility of your entire supply chain to all the users, right? So you can see from your strategic level what your main goals, what's going to be your budget for the year, your capex, and then you can go down. So this is going to be my plan for this year. We are going to tackle this market. We're going to explore this guy because we need to improve there. We need to have more sales over there, right? So we're going to try, let's say, improving our plan by adding a line this year because we need to increase our production of a particular product, right? So these are long-term horizon. And then when you go down to the short term, you're going to start getting all those outputs, all those targets to have defined. You're going to start executing them. And then it's interesting because the tool, it's pretty easy, it's pretty fast to use. So you don't need to keep doing maintenance in a spreadsheet. And this is one of the questions that most of the companies bring to us. So how do I react to the changes on a daily basis, right? Because this is important. If you don't know exactly how to react to them, you probably will not achieve your targets, right? And with that kind of tool, you don't need to, for example, go to a spreadsheet and keep the whole day doing changes and see what changes. You can just have all your data integrated to the system. We generally work with interfaces. The system is going to grab the information from all your sources automatically. You don't need to put your hands on that. It's all automatic. So first good point about this, you avoid issues. You avoid issues on inserting that data into the spreadsheet, for example, because it's automatic. You don't need to put the hands on that. And second point, during the day, you can run, let's say, a second round of that projection, consider all the changes you got. Let's say, first truck of the day just broke on the road and it didn't arrive, so you need to start processing your second one. Okay, that's perfect. Start processing the second one. Let's rerun this. Let's update those values on the system and see what I can do now. Consider those changes, right? Because the system is still aiming for your targets. And this is the good part of it, because it's integrated. It can still follow your targets. Even though you got so many changes, you don't need to make manual adjustments into, like, everything. You just go few clicks and you're done, So that visibility is important. That integration is important. And other than that, most importantly, one of the main focus of ProLine is to support quick and well-informed decisions, right? So this is pretty important, because the worst thing a company can do is to take decisions based on what they feel that's correct. They need to be sure what is correct, what is the best, and how can I do that? Think about a horizon of a year. So you have a big planning and you are working on the first day. Things are changing here, but sometimes if you don't act correctly on this first day and you keep doing that, you're going to fall behind. But you realize that, just let's say, on the moment that you cannot change anything anymore because the time has gone, right? So we need to take the actions, the correct actions. And doing that, the system can tell you, but look on this, your changes are here. You need to make these adjustments. You need to try doing this kind of thing so we can still achieve your targets, right? So that's the important thing. Taking good decisions based on information, not just based on feeling or what they generally do, So, but yeah, and besides that, one other thing that I really like in ProLine is that this is not just about another, let's say, ERP or specific solution that the market can provide to you, but this is a solution created specifically to the poultry processing plants, right? So these have been created by people that really working on the plants, right? So in this case, we understand the problems, we understand the trickies we have during a planning, right? And specifically into executing those plans. So that makes it way different and way better, because we can consider those variables correctly, things that sometimes you'll not achieve with a solution like an ERP that you can buy from anywhere, So yeah, basically that's how the system will support those users,
Well, thanks. It was a really, really good answer. And I just wanted to kind of mention, there is this very obvious similarity between what Evan is doing and Daniel is doing. So we were trying to give a tool to the users so that they don't have to imagine things. They don't have to think about, okay, so I feel like this or I feel like that. So there will be a conclusion based on the data. And that's why Evan mentioned that the data should be clean and react to the changes faster than you would normally do. It's also very critical, especially in the live ops environment, in the broiler environment, where birds are growing every day. You need to do processing, you need to do adjustment. Like Daniel said, if the truck broke down, what do I do? Or if they stop eating, or if they stop growing, what do I do? So this is something that really helps users, I think, to be confident in the system. So it's like an extension of their knowledge about the birds, about the process, about the business.
Yeah, this is really, really interesting, Nick. As a planner yourself, as an ex-chicken planner yourself, I mean, you know some of these challenges from your own first-hand experience, eh? But I mean, it's been an interesting discussion. I mean, I guess we've scratched the surface, really only scratched the surface of what are some exciting products. With MTech's 30 years experience in the industry, and then you add these powerful tools like machine learning or reinforcement learning, the data science elements to both broiler planning and logistics, and then also in the processing plant, it really provides, I guess, a powerful tool. It doesn't eliminate planners. So I guess, nobody need fear that there's no need to have a planner, but I guess it gives them a much stronger tool to be able to do their job more efficiently, more effectively, and to run different scenarios. We all worked in the chicken industry long enough to understand that, the weights of the chicken are not always spot on, and that will have an impact in your processing plant, your order execution on the day or on the shift. So I guess the ability to provide a tool to planners to be able to work the different scenarios on the day and optimize what's best in that situation is really powerful. So it's quite exciting that, to know that the data science element that you've both spoken about is available today within MTech Solutions. We're not talking about the future, right? We're talking about today in terms of the amino broiler planning element within MTech, or the live haul scheduling element that comes within amino. And then also in processing the ProLine tool, Daniel, that you've spoken about, are products that are available to customers today. So that's quite an exciting development, a great push from an MTech point of view. So from me, hey, thanks for us answering our questions.
Yeah, thanks very much, guys. And thanks everyone for watching this episode. To not miss new episodes, please follow us on social media. We're on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on Twitter. And also check out our website for more episodes. And see you in the next one. Ciao.
Thank you.